Good morning. Saturday painting time. It's that time. So we finished up yesterday with one of the cavalry figures complete, and we will now attempt to do one of the other ones. So let's turn this thing around. Okay. I'm not sure if I was going to be able to go live this morning. I just had a crash on me a couple times, but apparently it crashed on me when I wanted to save a picture. You can take a picture and then upload it as the thumbnail of this, and it didn't like that. I've done it before, just for whatever reason, it did not like that. So, right. Need to add water to this. I'll be right back. This is what we were struggling with a little bit last night. Yeah, be right back. I'm gonna fill this pad up with some water and moisten it up. Okay. I should fix the problem here. And get that little bit of a wet layer on here before we go any further. All right, so we'll see how far we can go. I had my alarm set normally for 5 o'clock in the morning, and I actually woke up an hour and a half before my alarm. So I'm having trouble sleeping these days, I guess. So this may end up being a day where we have to take a nap. All right. So the next horse that we're going to do. Let's well, there's some things to touch up here in black, so let's go ahead and do that. So at least we have a layer on there. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's touch up anything we may have left off on the primary phase. Is that everything there? Let's go ahead and put some of that there for good measure. Okay. All right. So you have a very dark brown color horse. This is the color of the last stand. So this is the similar color horse as the other one that I have. So this one doesn't have a black one. So we're going to do a black horse, and then yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a black horse next. So we're going to go ahead and let's get some new black out here. Let's make sure we recoat everything on the horse, because there's just a primer on there. We want to get it a even coverage there, which sometimes you don't get that with a primer. Well, it's going to be like that, huh? I was trying not to make coffee this morning because I got very little sleep last night, and I don't know why. I have no idea. Okay, I think we just about have all that on there. Good easy coverage all over the horse with black. You know what? I am gonna have to have some coffee, or not gonna be able to make any forward progress. So we'll put this as a placeholder, and we'll be right back. It's already made. I just gotta pour it in another cup. Be right back. Okay. It is almost 6 o'clock in the morning. We're gonna go till about 8:30. Because I have to go to the hobby store. They open at 9. I want to get there right when they open, and then we'll be back on. But need to get some spray, some flat clear, and a clear gloss for the coating. That stuff is so expensive as it used to be. I remember when that stuff used to be $1.99 a can, and now I think it's $6.99 a can. So I tried to cut corners one time and use a more generic brand other than the Model Master, and that didn't work out too well. I got some pretty crummy coverage. So luckily, I used it on a terrain piece. So I don't want to spend all this effort. Man, I'm falling asleep. Spend all this effort on painting and then have it ruined by a cheap spray paint. And today's going to be one of those weird days. I think it's 35 degrees out there, which is it's really cold for this time of the year in Florida. It's not too cold for me. I'll take that every day. But it's supposed to warm up to 74. So that's a pretty extreme from 74 to 35, or from 35 to 74. So, all right. So we've got black. We're going to mix something in. I'm not sure I want to do white. Um, let's um, let's do something crazy. I always like experimenting with stuff like this. Let's use some of this, the hoof color. That's a bit drastic. And if it looks more gray than black, that's fine too. Black horses aren't really black. I think I read somewhere that they're actually like a really, 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 really dark brown, but we're not going to get into that. I'm not going to paint a black horse brown. I mean, if you get in there and take a look, you might be able to tell the difference, but this may end up being a dark gray, but that's just fine. I don't it doesn't have to be a certain color. Just kind of mixing it up. We're just kind of going on an adventure and see where it takes us. We got two people. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully, I can stay awake all right today. I have my doubts. I just haven't been able to stay awake. I mean, I haven't been able to stay asleep at night. Okay, so we gave this a little bit. Nothing crazy. And then we're going to go ahead and take this color and just lighten it up just a tad little bit. And just pick out some of the highlights here on the muscles, etc. Mm. Mr. Shevlin, you've been watching some horse painting videos by Loki Great Hall. That's a silly name to name your kid. He has a great playlist for different horse types. He uses Vallejo black, green to get a sheen on black horses. Huh, black green's got quite a bit of green in it. All right, where's my note sheet? We will write his Loki Great Hall. Loki paints some horses. Or however his voice goes. I'm out of practice. I I left off on like season 4, I think, and I haven't picked it back up. I left off like after Rollo goes to the big castle siege. Maybe like 2 episodes. I think that's around season 4. I don't even know what season they're at. If the show's even over with, I have no idea. I just I haven't kept up with it. I don't really watch much television. YouTube videos, absolutely. I'll go watch other people and stuff, but you know, shows, I don't really watch shows. I have productive things I could be doing. Tiny amounts. Okay. Well, we'll certainly check it out. Let's um let's add a little bit of dappling on here. Loki Great Hall, never heard of him, but that doesn't really mean anything. I don't really. There's a few people I follow, but I bet he paints in 28s. Okay, just a little bit. Speaking of sheen, that glare off that light is. And again, we're going to leave the socks for last. So let's go ahead and paint the figure. And for that, we're going to metal corner. They're great videos. The videos that you make, that I've made, that involve like pictures, like picture in picture, those take a long time to do. And not necessarily editing, they just take a long time, cutting and cropping, and they're just time consuming. It doesn't mean I don't like doing them, but it cuts into what I'm here for, which is this. We got guys to paint. We got some folks to paint. I want to be done with these guys, and you know, I got a hankering to try some tartan. What does that mean? I don't know. It just means I've got a hankering to try some tartan. That doesn't necessarily mean that the next army will have that. But they say that the tartan stuff wasn't around until much, much later. But what I mean is, even balls and stuff like that, ancient Brits, they had some of that stuff on there. So, yes, I'm back again. It is morning. It is just after 6 a.m. I actually woke up at 3:30 on my own. Unfortunately, I have my alarm set for 5 a.m. every morning. I keep the same schedule well, Monday through Sunday, so that there's no point in sleeping in on your day off. But I've been having trouble staying asleep the last week or so. I don't know why. I don't think I was over caffeinated or anything. As a matter of fact, I don't think I was really drinking any caffeine last night, but I don't know. Hey, it's the weekend. If I get tired, I'll just go take a nap. And that's a good time for everybody else across the world. It's there's a lot of people that are operate on Eastern Standard Time here in the United States, but most of you watchers are not in the United States, so hey, that works out. We guess we have other distractions here. I guess it just depends what else you got going on. I know Mitch was telling me that wargaming was much bigger in Illinois than it is here, but it's different times too. People have other options now, and in Florida, we have all kinds of things to do. It's not like, well, we're snowed in a basement. So 6:08 p.m., nearly dinner time. That would be a late dinner for me. I try to I have breakfast at 5, lunch at 11, and then eat dinner at 5. If I can get away with it, that's my preference. I mean, why put things off? I mean, I wake up, I survived the night. Cool, let's eat. Oh, and then I learned how to have lunch at 11 because when I worked part-time at this store, if you took lunch at noon, it got really busy at noon. And so you never got a chance to eat your lunch. So, you know, no point in putting that off. Let's have lunch at 11. And you don't have to fight anybody. And now I kind of started to trend. Well, not now. I mean, I've been there a long time, but after 26 years, I think most people in the office actually go to lunch at 11 now. So, not that we go to lunch together, but I go to lunch to get away from the everyday thing, watch videos and so forth. We're just going to leave a little bit of black in between the helmet parts here. Usually eat at 4 a.m. Excellent. That's a go-getter. When you get up to go for work, lunch at 11, dinner usually about 6. That's not too bad. You're pretty close. That's pretty close. I know some people that actually don't have breakfast. They go right into work. No, that's a deal breaker. If you're gonna do work, you might as well have a full stomach while you're having it. So we're gonna look at a couple things. I better write myself a note so I don't forget, because now I get distracted easy, especially since I'm gonna be looks like sleep deprived. So we're going to get spray, and we're gonna look for brush hanger. They make these little things. I'll take a look at it, and I want to say they're made out of stainless steel. They're probably not stainless, but it's almost like a something that belongs like it looks like a strainer on like a bar set or something like that. And I think I may get one of those for some of these brushes so I can hang dry them and maybe keep their shape a little bit better. I'll take a look. If it's cheap, I'll pick one up. But I also got to be careful. I got to make sure where it's made, because if it's made where, I'm not going to pick one up. Oh well, it's not like it's something I absolutely have to have. So I still can't believe the I still can't believe that the Games Workshop Tufts weren't made in the UK. It's like, man, you're paying a lot of money for the Games Workshop stuff for it to come from the place where all the cheap things also get made. Oh, we still have that JS2 kind of languishing there. We haven't finished it up. I'm not sure what stage it's in right now. I did the wash on it. I just need to do some dry brushing on it. I want to get the stand done. Maybe we'll mess with that while these figures are drying, which means probably mess with it tomorrow. We'll see if we can't get both of these guys done today, but I'm not going to rush this. It'll get done when it gets done. If you rush in this process, it just adds stress, and this is the opposite of stress causing, or it should be. Okay, let's fix the front of the helmet. Come on, coffee, work your magic. Okay, now is the time to do the wood on this thing, and I believe that's the color that we used for the wood. So let's go ahead and mix that up. Oh, and we still need to do, let's go ahead and do the iron part. I know several people who, when they paint things that are metallic in this scale, they just don't even use a metallic color. They use like gray. And I like how it turns out, but that just goes counter to any way I've always ever done it. So, um, like for instance, if they're painting any firearms or something like that, they'll end up using gray. They won't actually use metal or anything like that, and it works. It's just not that I'm scared to do it, but I don't know. What would I use my metallics for, right? But okay, that's done. Let's go ahead and make that wood. Huh. Sometimes when you're painting figures, you have to figure out, okay, now where does this item begin and where does it end? Sometimes it's all a blur in between the items. Whew. So, though, one thing we were talking about last night, I don't know if you guys were in on that, talking about the pandemic and things that are shut down, everything. And pretty much everything in Florida is open. I mean, obviously, there's restrictions and stuff on it, except for one thing. There's the movie theaters. Movie theaters have not opened back up. Not that I'm dying to go to a movie, but, I'm just peculiar that that hasn't opened up. Now, we have three movie theaters in town, which I guess is kind of low for 150,000 people, 160,000 people. But they're all owned by the same company. They're all owned by Regal, and Regal made a business decision, I think, sometime last year that they just weren't gonna open up. So, but I thought that was interesting. I forgot to mention that last night. So if you're in the movie theater business, you're out of a job, pal. Yeah, I don't know how those people are making the payments for leasing the spaces. But and I already thought that movie theaters were kind of on their way out already. Not like they're going to end any minute, but kind of like shopping malls, kind of a dinosaur from the past. As everybody's equipment at home gets better and better, with streaming movies and stuff like that. I just thought they were on their way out as it was. Like shopping malls. Shopping malls been on a wane for a few years now here in the States, or over here in suburbia. Let's put it that way, because this is very different than, say, New York City. Okay, let's lighten this thing up. And let's just do a little bit of highlighting to give the impression that this is a wooden contraption, or at least the handle is a wooden contraption. I already feel better already. I need to go brew some coffee. This is yesterday's coffee, which I put it in the I put it in the refrigerator anyways. I drink all my coffee cold. I don't care what the temperature is outside. I'm gonna go get some water boiling. I'll be right back. We're gonna use, where is it? I need to put a little note on there. I need to put we'll be right back or something like that. Let's do that. Do you have a marker? No. Crap, where'd all my Sharpies go? Oh, they're floating around everything. That's really frustrating to be as organized as I am, or as organized as I think I am. A Welshman, excellent. You cannot be Welsh. There's too many vowels in that name. Red Care. Sounds like somebody that hangs with Tim the Enchanter. I'll be right back, folks. Welcome, welcome. Welsh. Yeah, Welsh Army's on my short list to do. Definitely. I'll be honest with you guys. If tea had the caffeine content of coffee, I would drink tea, not coffee, because I really don't like the taste of coffee. I know that sounds really strange for somebody that drinks, I'm not going to say as much coffee as I do, because I don't really have more than two. Well, this is what, 31 ounces? 30 ounces. Yeah, I'll have this in a day of coffee, but not more than that. But I like the taste of tea. That English black tea, oh yeah, that's good stuff. I don't put cream in it or whatever. Although my daughter does. She made this lavender syrup. I know we're getting artsy. She made some lavender infused simple syrup and then she did. What did she do? She did some kind of frothy thing with it. Yeah, that tastes too good. I would just go through a gallon of that. It's got to taste a little like medicine, so you don't drink, a ton of it. Speaking of medicine, I'm gonna take my meds. We're all on meds, right? I just started taking some stuff for my skin condition. Everybody's got something. That's what I have. It's not a big deal. I've had it for, I don't know. And it's not that bad. It's just annoying to have something that you have to put on topical that takes like a freaking hour to put on. So we're trying something new and hopefully that works out. So everybody has something, folks. I'm glad mine's on the. If we're not considering brain damage as one of them, then all of my problems are on the outside, fortunately. But yeah, I like that English tea. That's good stuff. Except I don't drink anything. I don't drink anything warm. I guess I could drink that warm, but okay, so we've got that hand cannon done. We need to do a little bit more. Did we have any of this left over? No, let's pull it back out because it looks like I missed a spot. I gave you a lesson yesterday. I'm not sure I know what that means. Unless I think I know what you're talking about. I guess that was on Facebook, not on here, if that's the case. So, true story. The Welsh are on my short list. Okay, and the reason they're on my short list is And that's a good thing, by the way, being something on a short list, unless you're in the business of whooping somebody's ass, and then, maybe the short list isn't a thing. But a painting short list means, probably get to them in the next 6 or 7 armies. There, I'm giving myself a little bit of room. I have a bunch of figures for them. And not that I'm opposed to buying a few more for variety, because when you have a DBA army that's boring, um, say troop composition wise, and the Welsh would be boring only because they have a lack of variety of elements. Then mixing different poses and stuff makes them interesting. But I digress. Um, I need to read about Welsh history. And I know there's a lot of stuff out there, but that's the whole reason to paint a new army, a new period, is to learn about the history. At least that's the reason for me. So actually have a guy from I have a guy, yes, like I have slaves or something. No, this gentleman that came and visited us one time in Orlando from Wales, hell of a nice guy, and he's come to Florida several times. And Historicon, last time, was on, he's he's Welsh, but I think I asked him if he had a Welsh army, and he said he didn't. So anyhow, if I was going to paint the Welsh, and if you're familiar with the DVA list for the Welsh, I would probably build the North and the South together at once and have both varieties, because one of them is almost all longbowmen and the other one's almost all fast pikemen. So yeah, it could be fun. A lot of mustaches I'll be painting on those guys, right? But I got to watch something to kind of wrap my head around the leaders, because they all have variations of each other's names. And to the untrained eye, me, they all sound the same. So I'm not opposed to getting educated about stuff, because I find it interesting. I always like learning about the stuff that I'm painting. I'm not just like, oh, I'll paint them whatever color I want. No, 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 no. We're not going to do that. We're going to try to do a little better. We're going to do better than that. So, but they are on my short list. And yeah, I was the one who painted the Turks. No, I was the one that painted the Turks. Maybe you were the one that painted the Turks, and your Turks do better than me. That's not hard to do. Don't forget you only wore one shoe. Well, is that really true? Because I thought that was the case. That, I was going to make a meme. You can make memes. And the meme was going to be split in four. And, I was going to title it something along the lines of, how to paint armies of the British Isles or something like that. And the top left corner, I would put on there, I'd put, Welsh, one shoe, Irish, no shoes, Scots, no pants or trousers for you guys, and then English, no teeth. Just to get a rise out of everybody. I think that well, what I find is really funny is that the English seem to pick on the Welsh, Irish, and Scots almost from the standpoint of, like, that they're into uh, livestock, having fun with livestock. I think that's hilarious. All three of them. So whatever. We can make fun of each other, and at the end of the day, we just get along. Nobody gets to pick where you come from. There was a what did I come across? I came across a joke about the Welsh, and it was funny. It was really, really. I thought it was hilarious, And I only know one Welsh person, and he's nicer than most people in this country, easily. So, you know, but that's the kind of humor I like. I like those. I'm old school. I like the ethnic type of jokes. You know, it's not personal. It's just fun to laugh about our differences and that kind of stuff. I know you can't do that these days without people getting their panties in a twist. Oh, can I even say panties? You know what I'm talking about. It's all good fun. Comedy gold. You like that, huh? That's what I thought it was. And then somewhere I read that that's a misnomer, that they didn't just wear one shoe. But I don't know. Maybe not everyone with only one shoe, but yeah, that's what I heard. And mustaches, right? Mustaches were big, at least back then. Um, yeah, that's cool. I'd like to learn more about your history. And you guys have that name of that town that's insane. That's in Wales. It's just, I swear it's 32 letters long and 30 of them are consonants. It's crazy. Well, that's cool. That makes you guys different. So, and I will give you this: the modern Welsh flag is a kick-ass looking flag. What's to not like about a dragon? Okay, I started making that meme and I got sidetracked. There's good people in all countries, you know. Just like I really hate to think that most people that are not in that people outside the United States think of people in the US all like New Yorkers. No. No. Just like all French people aren't from Paris, etc., you know. No. No, there's more in common with all of us than uh throughout the world than it may appear. But I will get to the Welsh at some point, unless I die prematurely. Pre-feudal Scots as well. Same reason. Not the Scots common. Mitch already has them, and everybody has them. There's nothing wrong with an army. It's a cool army, but everybody builds them. So we'll do a Macbeth type of pre-feudal Scots, and who else? I actually have a Norse Irish army to do, but considering how much I love Solid Auxilia, that one may have to wait a little bit. And I already have an Irish army anyways, so. And an Irish army that kicks ass, I may add. So, and I have a feudal English army to do as well. So we'll get good old Longshanks in there on some action as well. Basically, with figures, I could probably build the whole army of all of those with figures I already have. But once I start working on, say, Scots, I may like go and order a few packs from what's the name of those people? QRF, Quick Reaction Force. They make some interesting looking guys, just to mix them in, just to give them some kind of figure variety, give them personality, and you know, they're a hell of a lot more fun to play when they have that type of character. So, same with the Welsh, they make lots of Cool stuff for the Welsh as well. The Welsh for Forged in Battle are look really, really nice, but their spears aren't really long, and I'm wondering if they're just made for an earlier period. So I don't want guys with short spears running around and pretending that they're fast pikes. So I'd rather not use those figures for that. But I could use their bowmen. Yeah, their longbowmen are. You got a pack of Welsh longbowmen out there. Anyhow, but I'm not buying all that stuff now. I'm like, I'll make a decision. And I'm going to do the say I'll do the Welsh next, and I'll start working on the things I already have while the other things come in. You know, so. Talking of dragons, I'm off to fix my mother's car. Loving the sight. Bored, Borda. Okay, excellent. Good luck with the car. Hopefully, it's an older car, so it's not too complicated. Because these modern cars are like disposable. You can't do anything on your own anymore. So that's why I lease, not because I need a new vehicle, but I just don't want any of those problems. I don't need a fancy vehicle. I just need one that starts up every morning when I go to work. I gotta be at work. When it's time to be at work, that's where I need to be. I got nobody to cover for me, so I call that insurance on making sure you can make it there. The bad thing about cars is the new models did not come out this year due to, the pandemics kind of held everything up. So my lease is going to expire in 3 months, and I don't know what in the hell we're going to get next. I know, first world problems. No, it's true. It's not that big a deal. We'll worry about it when the time comes. It is just a car. All right, now let's add a little bit more. I think we need to go down a size and brush. This one's just too big and boisterous. Oh, I think the water's boiled now. Be right back. So one thing about coffee, it's a multi-step process. Gotta wait for it to boil and pour it on there. Wait a few minutes for it to go. I used to buy like the pre-made cold coffee. It's just too damn expensive. You have this stuff in the States called Stoke, STOK. It's pre-made. It is smooth as crap. It is just totally. I don't put any sweetener in coffee. It's just totally black. That stuff is amazing smooth. It's like $5 for a carafe of it. What would it be? It's probably a liter and a half. It's too expensive to drink every day. Uh, You know, that's just something that I did that for a little while. It's like, you know what? We're spending way too much money on coffee. Okay, let's get another brush out here. Yeah, I need to find some introductory videos on Welsh history, but we'll do that when we get closer if we decide to do the Welsh next. There's no reason in doing that and then listening to that ahead of time, and then when it's time to do the army, I don't forgot about it. But I think I am going to have to take notes. I'll hear something and go, oh, the problem with some of this stuff is the same thing that happened to me when I was listening to the Irish History podcast. There's a guy that does a podcast called the Irish History Podcast. I wonder what it's about, right? And he, I got a different brush, but I don't think I got one that was any bigger. Oh well, we'll just poke along with this one. He's from Ireland, but he's got that the Irish sing-songy thing voice. It's hard to make out what he says sometimes, not all the time. Um, I can't knock him too hard. His English is a lot better than my Irish, so. But even if I do understand what he says, a lot of these words and people's names and places, I'm very visual when it comes to learning things. So I want to see what the name of the town or the person's name is spelled like, so that if I want to go and read more about it, I have that access to that. And I'm telling you, with the Irish names, you might as well just give up. Some of them are just crazy, you know. So I do need to take notes when I'm doing some of this stuff because it's gaming and learning. It's fun, It's if I didn't want to learn about history, I'd play Warhammer. Hey, I wouldn't even have to paint figures, right? You wouldn't even have to paint the figures. I ran everybody off with the English joke. Okay, well, you guys will be back. Everybody off but one lonesome cowboy. Yeah, I apologize. I didn't know who that was, but I still don't not sure I know who it is. I've never been one to use a pseudonym, a fake name or fake handle for myself. It's just too confusing. I'm not going to say anything on there. I don't know if it's a privacy concern. I'm not that exciting to worry about my privacy, but I'm not going to say things on the internet I wouldn't say in person. I'm actually nicer on the internet than in person. You say nasty stuff on the internet, and the next thing you know, you've got to defend yourself, and it's like, it's just not worth my time. So, no point in being particularly controversial. Uh-oh, we got a little too wet in that one. But I think lots of people are not that way. I'll frequently go on some site and just people just being. I mean, I'm as sarcastic as the next guy, but there's just a lot of mean spirited stuff out there. It's like, man, it's just not worth my time, you know? Even people that I've come across that I just totally disagree with, you know? Like I've come across some posts, I've come really close to like answering back, but I'm like, you know what? This communist isn't worth my time. So it's just like, whatever. I'll uh I'll hide them so I don't have to see their inane replies. So can we get this figure done in an hour and a half? I bet I can. Challenge accepted. We could do that. So I'm gonna have to take a break about that time to go to the store. Well, that's the plan. It's not like I can't go later. It's not like my parole officer is going to come in and say, I can't leave the house after a certain time. But okay, let's compare color wise how we're looking like so that it is at least similar. No, I went even lighter on this one. Okay, fair enough. Need some more. I don't know what it is about white, but it dries up really fast. Faster than any of the other colors. No problem. We got plenty more where that came from. Speaking of everybody has something, man, I remember when I grew up, there wasn't a thing as food allergies. Or if they did, maybe people just didn't know about them, or I don't know. It just didn't seem to be a thing when I grew up. Oh well, it's not like the people that haven't wanted them. I don't have anything wrong with me. Let me pretend I have a food allergy to get some respect. No, I don't think there's anybody doing that. Oh man, that would be sad. All right, we're going to use the same saddle color for these guys because this is something that we're going to pretend it was supplied by the state or the bishop or something like that. If you're just joining us, we're just painting some medieval Germans. Got this guy to finish, one more, and then that stand's done, and then we got a little war wagon to do. This little guy right here. Okay. I know a lot of people paint the horse and then glue the rider afterwards, but I could tell you the most difficult thing for me to do is not be able to not reach into or between the figures. That's not a problem. The problem is you get everything painted nicely, then you got to use your glue, and then it leaves a shiny spot somewhere that you already painted, and you have to fix that. So I would rather just have everything glued together and I'll work around it than the other way around. But you find a way that works for you, and you can do that. You know, I'm not pushing any particular thing. Okay, lighten that up some. Where is, here we go. It's the main reason I even replaced this is you end up looking like, okay, where did I leave off at? Then we want to make sure that we go to the store while it's still cold. That going out when it's 74, nah. I mean, I don't mind going out in 74-degree weather, but man, it's in the 30s. That's when I want to go out. Not when it's freaking 74. We don't get enough of those cold days here. I'll have to bring my readers with me. That's the new normal now. I I travel with my readers like an old man. Otherwise, I have to take. I'll like want to look at the ingredients on, say, a paint or something like that. Maybe not this, but something different, like to use it. I have to take a picture of this with my phone and then zoom in to read it. All right. For those of you that are watching from places that are locked down, man, what do you do all day long? If you can't even go to a restaurant, I think the restaurants in Europe are all closed. You can't even do takeout or something like that. That's crazy. You can only work on your hobby stuff so much each day, you know? All right. Pretty good on the color of the. It doesn't look like much right now. This resolution and the, but just kind of tell you what I've gotten done so far. All right, let's check on that coffee. Okay. I left and somebody showed up. Sorry to disappoint you. I'm back. Oh, having too much fun. Having too much fun. Oh, ran him off. Oh, I love it. I probably should make an attempt in the next week to watch some videos. There's several people that I follow that are really good, make some really interesting stuff, including unboxings. I like unboxing. There's something about the packaging, the little crinkle sound, and it's fun, Um, but yeah, I should make an attempt to watch some other folks, but it's just so difficult. It's so difficult because if I'm uh, if I'm trying to get some painting done, somebody will say something interesting, and then I'll look up and I'll want to look at the feed, and I've got paint on my brush, and then the paint dries on my brush, and stuff like that. So this is better for me to stay on target and get something completed. Yeah, on YouTube, there's some really quality stuff on there. There's a lot of garbage too, but that goes with everything. That's with the internet. There's great stuff on the internet, and then there's garbage on the internet. So all right. Right, the strapping. I believe we used the SS black for that, and we used that color. So let's get some of that SS black out here. SS camouflage black, which is this color right here. But it be dead. Okay. Something's over there making noise. What is it, anyways? And the harness across this horse's face is almost like an X. Okay, that's everything with the base color. I think that's about it. I can start lightening that up. Adding more depth to it. Yeah, this army that I had for this one, I built it as Book 4, 13C. And in 2.2, it had some elements that are no longer available in 2 and 3.0. In particular, the 2 units of solid spear. In 2.2, the army had solid spear. Now they're no longer in the C list; they're in the B list. So I've got 2 elements for an army that I can't use unless I make the B list, which I got to paint a couple blades and stuff for. But I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Scott owns that army, the B list, so there's not a big incentive for me to stop what I'm doing and go in that direction. I would have to paint 2 solid blades and then I think 3 knights that aren't deep. So what is that? 5 stands. So yeah, and I would just make a really late version B, so it goes with the rest of the look of my figures. Because that list I believe goes into before 1200. So the knights in the 1100s are going to look very different than the knights in the 1400s. I mean, like really different. So that's not really going to work for me. I mean, now don't get me wrong. If we're playing a game and we're morphing figures, yeah, that's no problem. But if I'm purposefully going to paint the figures for an army, they might as well be the correct ones. Might as well, by the time I spend hours painting them, I might as well be painting the correct ones. That's just my philosophy. Okay, 4 people, all quiet on the painting chat. Well, got any questions or pithy comments or anything like that? Let me know. You can be a part of the momentum of whatever it is that we're talking about. I'm gonna highlight this a little bit more. Probably could just use this color straight. I think I am going to do that actually. All right. Did we? I'm not sure if we used any white on this or not. I may not have. I may not have. Okay. All right. Where do we go from here? Probably should do Nolan oil. And then we've got sheaths on the sword and the reins on the horse. Okay. I gotta go use the little boy's room. I'll be right back. And we'll start working on that stuff. Okay. Yeah. I leave, more people show up. I should just stay off. Is everything. Uh, well, it's Lurker Saturday. Happy Saturday to you guys. Just the same. So what is the stage of that JS2? Well, let's take a look at it. Because it's been sitting over here in a corner. So it has a wash on it. Again, let me look at the screen and then let me look over here. Yeah, it looks a lot better in person. So we got to do some dry brushing on here. And, do some, not a whole lot left on it. I was going to repaint the numbers. They didn't come in thick enough. So that's really easy to do. Yeah, then this one will be done. The big problem I'm having is a base for it. I've been using these shims that they had a surplus of them at work, they're cut into sections, but I don't want to use a double side one. So each one, and they just snap off. These are, I'm not sure what size they are. One, two, I bet they're supposed to be 2-inch shims, but they certainly look bigger than that. But I don't think that they're long enough to fit underneath the vehicle. I guess that would work. There's enough meat showing around it. I probably would want them a little bit longer than that, but this is what I have. I like this material. It's not going to break because it's made for to sit concrete on top of, so it's not going to give at all. And you just put a magnet on the bottom, and you're good to go. Now I also have key cards from a person who doesn't return them, but I think this is a thinner material, and it's definitely more flexible. So I don't want a flexible bottom on that, but we use these for fields and crops and stuff like that. That's all kinds of cool stuff out there you can reuse. So hotel room keys, like, hey, I brought them all with me. Ah, crap. Oh well, might as well put them to good use. It's not like I'm going to drive 3 hours to go give it back. So right. The reins. I believe we use this color for the reins. Let's go ahead and do that. Normally I would make these ever so slightly different. Yeah, we're going to take that saying away from them as well. But these horses, I figure, were supplied by that. Well, look at that. Look, I missed the strap that goes on the top of the horse across this. Well, we'll come back to that in a second. We have this mixed. It's not a big. Oh, how'd all that water get in there? What the hell? All right, let's start over. I wish the people that I really enjoy their painting a lot more than mine would do videos like this, because that way I could see them make mistakes. We're all making mistakes, unfortunately. You know, it's just experience just allows you to be able to cover them up a little bit more or paint your way out of them, as I like to say. But unfortunately, we could all continue to make mistakes. Damn humanity. Mm, okay. Non oil. Let's not forget the non oil because we're going to have to come back. That's going to slow our whole process down. We got to wait for that to dry. Thought it'd be brighter at 7:20. Overcast day? Can't be an overcast day if it's going to get up to 74. They don't call this place a sunshine state for nothing. Okay. Done with that. Oh. If I wasn't done with this guy, I'd take a break. But if I wasn't almost done with this guy, I'd take a break. There we go. You say it correctly. Let's do some more of this stuff right here. Wow. Whew. All right, let's lighten this up a little bit. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do a search for. I gotta do some stuff around the house here today. Nothing major, but I'll search for some Welsh history. And start getting the building blocks down. Yeah, I got a lot of Welsh figures. I've got a lot of guys by museum. A museum make only one pose for the bowman, and same thing. They make only one pose for the long spearman. So that's a lot of stands with only two poses. So that's why I say ordering some other stuff to go in there. Not that I'm going to order today, but you know I do that frequently though. Like I'll go and I'll see something and be like, oh, okay, well, what would it take to build these guys? How much would I be talking about spending? So I'll go put them in the cart and everything, and I won't check out. Just so you can get an idea how much it would be whenever you decide to pull the trigger on that. Okay, what do we got left? We got the stirrups. We got the handle of the swords and stuff like that. The highlighting of the figure. No, it actually dries pretty fast. And any socks on the horse. Okay. Ah, wake up, Tony. Wake up. This beat. Just waking up at your own at 3:30 in the morning. Just I don't know what's going on. I feel okay. All right. Let's grab the old bronze. Unless this one's still alive over here that we put down yesterday. It could be. And it is. Perfect. Okay. Before we go any further, 'cause we're about to forget to do this. Where is the strap color? Because we need to go over the hindquarters of the horse. I missed that. No big deal. Just gonna do this. Mix in some of this. Okay, and then we're going to lighten that up some. Nah, we could probably just use a straight color, couldn't we? All right, sword handle. Been using gray for that. Been pretty happy with how that's turned out. Okay. And where did I grab that white from? There it is. Okay. What's left? Highlighting the metal. So let's go over here to the metal corner. It's this one. And then we are going to go up. Oh, why'd I close that? That's silly of me. Okay, and then we need to go up one level with the other one, with the highlight. And it's this color here, whatever the hell Citadel decided to call these things. His chin. We still have to do his chin. Wow. I'm actually going to call it. I got the chin to do and the socks, and this guy's completely done, and that'll be the second one, and one left. So hopefully we'll be back on today a little later, and have some more interaction. Until then, happy painting, folks. See ya.